We are studying the first chapter, that is housing for dairy animals, and till date we have discussed about objectives of housing and the points to be considered while selecting site for a dairy farm. So these two topics we have already discussed in detail. Today we will discuss about the different systems of housing. There are different types of housing systems for dairy animals, taking into consideration the location of the farm, whether it is located nearby a village in the rural area or whether it is located nearby the urban area, then availability of land, number of animals to be reared at the farm, and many more factors which influence the type of housing system to be adapted for dairy farming. However, in the field of dairy farming, two important systems of housing are practiced generally or on large scale. These are, first one is loose housing, system, and another one is conventional housing system. Loose housing system and conventional housing system, these are commonly practiced at the dairy farming business. This conventional housing system is further divided into two types: head to head and tail to tail. Alright, so we will study one by one these two systems. We are also going to study the merits and demerits of these systems, or advantages and disadvantages of each system. As you know, every coin has two sides, plus and minus. So advantages are there and disadvantages are also there of each and every system. Whichever is suitable for us, that system we are going to adapt at a particular place. So we will start with the first system, that is loose housing system. This particular system of housing is practiced at rural areas where the quantity of land available is more and it is available at a cheaper rate. So at such places, most preferably loose housing system is adapted. In loose housing system, as the name itself indicates, the site is selected taking into consideration the different points which we have discussed in the last lecture: the topography or geographical location of the land, then availability of market, accessibility or well connection with road, water supply facility, electric supply facility, facilities for the laborers and their families, and many more. So taking into consideration all these points, the site is selected, and this site it is something like this. Suppose this is the site selected for dairy farming. It is fenced. The compound wall is there. In our terms, local terms, we call it as compound wall. So it is fenced properly. There is a gate for entry and exit. Then some trees are planted inside the park. Then partial shelter is provided. Partial shelter is provided to the animals, means complete construction is not there, and the animals, they are let loose inside the paddock, open paddock it is called as. The site is selected, it is fenced, and the animals are let loose inside the campus. This is the campus of a dairy farm. The animals are let loose inside the campus. Means they are free to move inside the campus. Whenever they are in need of shelter, partial shelter is provided. For each and every animal, taking into consideration its space requirement, the house is not constructed. Complete construction is not carried out. Partial means to some extent the animals are provided with shelter or housing. Then feeding and watering is common. Suppose this is a water tank. All the animals, as per their requirement, can go to the tank and have the water. Then there is common facility for feeds and fodder sources. As per the requirements, the animals can have a free access to feeds and fodder sources. Otherwise, they are free to move inside the campus, except at the time of exception is at the time of milking and at the time of treatment. There is a separate unit which is called as milking parlor to get clean and safe milk. At that particular place, at that particular room or milking parlor, the animal is taken at the time of milking. It is washed properly, disinfected, and the milk is taken out from the udder of such animals. Then at the time of treatment also, if a particular animal is sick, it is suffering with a disease, then it is isolated, it is taken to a pen or a room where treatment facilities are available and it is treated. Otherwise, except these two activities, the animals are free to move inside the open paddock. Alright. So loose housing system is one in which the animals are let loose inside the campus of the farm. They are free to move inside the campus. Feeding and watering facility is common for all the animals. Partial shelter is provided to the animals, except at the time of milking and treatment. The animals are specific animals, they are isolated and taken to that particular place either for taking out milk or either for the purpose of treatment. So this is the structure of loose housing system. Now this housing system has some advantages, some merits and some disadvantages also or demerits that we will discuss in short. Now what are the merits or advantages of this system? The first advantage is the animals, they get natural environment. Means the animals are free to move inside the campus as per their will. They are able to get the water, they are able to get the feed, they are able to get the shelter and each and everything as per their will. Means they are not confined to a particular place, they are not tied to a particular place. So they are free and they are going to get a natural environment, and in this natural environment they also get sufficient exercise because the animals are free to move inside the campus. As they are moving all the 24 hours except at the time of rest, they will get sufficient exercise also. Then, as they are free, they are stress free or comfortable. There is no stress for getting water or getting feed. It is easily available for all 24 hours for them. Then they are not tired, they are free to move. So the animals, they will feel comfortable, they will be free from stress. And when the animals are stress free and comfortable, it will lead to increase in production efficiency of such animals, and we will get more and more production, livestock products, and ultimately the profit of the farm will also increase. That is another important merit of loose housing system. Then, as far as economy is concerned, cost of construction is less. As we are not going to construct the house, or as we are not going to provide complete shelter to the animals, cost of construction is less. So the initial investment is also less as compared to conventional housing system. Then, expenses on labor are also less, as separate labor is not required for feeding, providing feed or water to each and every animal, individual animal. Then we are not going to have the routine management practices on individual basis. So ultimately the requirement of the laborers as compared to conventional housing system is less, and that is why the expenses or cost on laborers is also minimum as compared to other system of housing. Then this system is flexible. Flexible means, suppose this is the site you have selected and you are having 100 animals with loose housing system, and if in some exceptional cases 20 more animals are needed to be accommodated in the same campus, then it is possible in the loose housing system, along with these 100 animals, these 20 animals can also be easily adjusted in the same campus. It is not the case in conventional housing system. In conventional housing system, while constructing the house, space requirement for each and every animal is calculated. Space requirement per animal, it is taken into consideration while constructing the house. So it is not flexible. Excess number of animals, they cannot be adjusted in the conventional housing system, but it is possible in loose housing system. That is why it is a flexible system of housing also. That is also an advantage of this system. Now we will study the disadvantages of loose housing system. the demerits or disadvantages. The first disadvantage is the chances of spread of disease, particularly contagious disease, samsargajanya rog, the disease which can spread by direct or indirect contact. The chances of spread of such diseases is more as compared to conventional housing system, because the animals are coming in contact directly and indirectly also in the form of common watering and feeding facilities. So spread of contagious diseases, the chances are more. Secondly, injuries due to fighting amongst animals, they are also more. As the animals are free to move inside the campus, some of the animals which are having more muscle power may injure to the other animals. So this is also a disadvantage of this loose housing system. Third one is underfeeding as well as overfeeding of animals is possible. The animals which are strong, which are having more muscle power, they may get more quantity of feed, leading to overfeeding and digestive disturbances. As compared to the animals which are having less muscle power or weak, or the smaller animals, they will not get sufficient quantity of feed as per their requirement, leading to underfeeding, nutritional deficiencies, and adversely affecting the growth as well as production performance of such animals. That is another disadvantage of this particular system. So this is all about the first system of housing, loose housing system, along with its merits and demerits. From the book also you can go through the scientific diagrams, the sketches which are given in the book, and have proper knowledge of the things. So in the next lecture we will study about the second system of housing, that is conventional housing system.